Today, we are in Patagonia and we're gonna tour 2 homes with unbeatable value in a suburb of Boise that's about to blow up.
And today we're gonna be touring 2 homes, one an RV garage for a very great price, and then another one that's a bigger home with some really cool, unique features. Both of these homes in this entire community with really great value here in Kuna.
Yep, and for all of our loyal watchers, I'm sure you've heard this before, but for anyone new, here at Boise Real Estate Insights, Brady and I really dive into the information that will really help locals specifically, but even people out of state really get a better idea of what's happening in the Valley, specifically for the real estate market, but also just big changes that are coming that could affect all of you that already own homes or are looking to buy or move here.
Yeah, and even the homes that we try and tour are homes that most of you guys would actually be looking at, right? We could go tour 1.5, $2 million, $3 million homes that would be really fun to look at. But these are homes that we actually see our clients touring. Some of these I've toured with clients. We see people wanting these homes. And part of me and Jesse is me as a Boise local. Jesse's been here a long time. Not only are we locals and have insights, but we are real estate agents, so we can help you buy and sell houses in the Boise area. But first and foremost, we're here to help you guys find information, whether it's real estate related or it's not. We're here to hopefully build relationships, work with you. And when you reach out to us and this phone number, you actually get me and Jesse, or me or Jesse.
Yep, exactly. So reach out, comment, of course, send us a text message or a call. Even if you're 1 year out, 2 year out, or you're literally just starting, hey, if we're gonna move somewhere, where should we move? Utah, Idaho, Nevada, Arizona, Texas. Reach out, we're happy to chat. It's not a waste of our time. We want to talk with you guys. And if this location works out for you, or if you're here local and looking for your next home or your first home, that's what we're here to help you with. And these videos hopefully provide value along the way.
Yeah, and even if you're not buying a house or selling a house, even if you're renting in Boise, sit down with us, have coffee with us. We can sit down and answer all of the questions specifically to you. So we really want to be lifelong advisors, build lifelong relationships, and we truly care about you guys and helping you guys, whether that's buying a home or it's not. So now let's go take a look at 2 awesome homes out here in one of the hottest suburbs of Boise. I live out here, so love it out in this area, in this community, Patagonia.
All right, out at home number 1. And again, the second home, they're very similar. So that's where we're gonna do a giveaway. Start to pay attention now before we go inside, because the giveaway is gonna be pick your personal favorite between home 1 and home 2.
Yep, and obviously this one doesn't have an RV garage, which the home you guys saw in the introduction and probably in the thumbnail has that RV garage, which is super desirable. People love that, but the inside of this home is awesome.
And that's our opinion. We don't want to change your, give them any bias or thoughts. But
hey, I'm the one that sends the gift cards. So if you guys vote this one, I might be in.
I guess you win either way. You just have to be the first 3 to comment.
Yeah, first 3 to comment. So home number 1. This one is actually a builder we haven't featured on the channel.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of a new piece to it as well. So Limelight Homes, and they're a smaller local builder, but they build in a lot of communities like this where it's kind of that mid to luxury feel. And this one in particular is a good example of what they do.
And they have some really cool homes too in other parts of the Valley. But I mean, starting off right here, I mean, you have 12 foot, 10 foot, 11 foot, somewhere in that range entryway. Really tall, right? And then bedroom number 1 off the front, you don't get the tall doorways. But you do get the tall ceilings. I mean, even the 9-foot ceilings here in the bedroom. A little bit smaller bedroom right here, but still usable, right? And you do get what looks like a walk-in pantry, which is kind of funny. But this is more of an office space.
Shelving. Yeah, exactly. Designed and set up more for an office, but obviously you could use it as a bedroom.
100%.
And that's where they don't have the taller entry or doorways. But when we share the price, this community, Patagonia out here in North Kuna, essentially, honestly, really good value for how nice and how big this home is. I mean, this home is almost 2,900 square feet, and it is at a great price point for the quality and the construction in it.
Yeah, 100%. And you can actually build out here too. A few of these builders, you can pick your lot, build your custom home, which is absolutely outstanding for the price point that we are. And we'll talk about Kuna later in the video and a lot of the things happening here and why the price point that these are at right now is not going to be the case. But
for sure.
We'll talk about that later, but right now we're going to talk about this house.
Yeah, and this
bedroom
is
number one. Yeah,
oh,
these
I
are
was
the
just
true
gonna-
bedrooms, right?
Yeah, yep. These are the actual bedrooms, so they are a little bit bigger, have more of your typical closet. When we go back to the front, you know, we kind of make a joke sometimes. The entry, you turn left or you turn right, you get your guest bedroom, your guest bathroom, your 2 bedrooms. This one has that, but it's nice on the other side of the hallway. You have that office, and then what we'll show is the half bath. So it's not as typical as every other home in the whole area.
100%, yeah. I mean, full bathroom here, tile shower, which is where you start getting into more of these luxury homes. And one thing about Kuna is there's not a ton of communities that have higher end homes. This is one of about 5 communities, and the price point that these are at is really great. So some of the things you see are the high ceilings, tiled showers like this. It's just a little bit more elevated. I mean, even things like this painted door, right?
Yep,
like
exactly.
Those are things that make it look nicer. The wood frame mirror in here.
Yep, the little bit more modern trim. So again, this would be again luxury or mid-luxury, I guess you could call it, and not a lot of it in Kuna. Patagonia is one community. Some of the other communities we've toured, like Laguna Terra, would be the other ones. So not as many options, but definitely a high demand. People are looking for this in Kuna. So.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the location at the next house of this particular community, because what's coming to Kuna is outstanding. So walking out the front, as Jesse said, very standard, gets the same, but where this house starts to differ is when you get through here. It's much more of a unique floor plan than we see in other ones. So front of the house, very typical, we see it all the time. But starting off here, we'll see in a second. Let's walk into the living room first. This is standard for what you see in a lot of luxury homes, where you get 10-foot ceilings with the coffered, you get the nice, awesome mantle. I do like that they made this lower.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. So you're not staring straight up at your gigantic TV.
Yeah, everybody comments on that. I don't know if it must be a Boise thing, but yeah, it's a problem, and they're gonna need to start lowering these to help. Get the built-ins, which is nice, and there's probably some sort of tubing in there to get your wires to feed them down into the cabinetries, all the way up to the ceiling stone. And then right into the kitchen to give that open feel. I do like in these floor plans how they give a separate dining room personally. And for those of you who have seen Tricidia homes, this is very similar to the Davenport, which is one of the most popular floor plans of Tricidia, where you have this living room right here and the dining room there. Where it differs though is this section of the kitchen, which is my favorite.
Exactly, and this is where it's slightly different than a lot of the other builders we've been touring, where even at this price point and this size of home, you have a really nice butler's pantry. You do have your full, walk-in pantry here, but I mean, your microwave out here, so you're living with the kings, but also all the cabinet space, the full backsplash. Having this kind of off the kitchen is really cool. So, I mean, you almost have 1.5 kitchens space worth.
1.5 kitchens?
1.5 kitchens,
No, and you guys notice I just popped up here again.
Yeah,
the other thing I like
that.
about these is it gives you a lot of flow through the house. You have the garage here, you'll see more flow as we go through. And you just commented on the kitchen or the microwave. I know we say that you're living with the kings and the knights when you have the microwave outside of the main kitchen area. That's no hard feelings to those of you who are buying houses where it is with the peasants. I personally have a microwave above my stove. So
Same,
I'm
exactly.
living among the peasants too.
Just a joke on the channel.
100%.
But I do like how you kind of came around this way. So one of the complaints that we're starting to see more is a lot of the homes start to blend together because they have there's no character, I guess, or there's no differences. Having this flow where it's like, ooh, you have this other hallway here that can go to your kitchen, or you can come from the living room. It breaks it up just enough to where you have your open floor plan, but it's not exactly the same as every single other home in the neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, even just right here where we're walking,
yeah,
creates more of, this is obviously common in a lot of floor plans right here, where you do get the laundry room into the master, but when you add that to the kitchen, it just creates a lot more ways to get where you need to go. And this closet space is actually a pretty good size. One of the complaints we do see when you have the walk-through laundry is it does take up a whole section of closet that you would have, if this door wasn't here. So nice that they gave you a big closet where this isn't it doesn't affect it nearly as much.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, we fill our closet up, and I think most people do. But one thing I think people, especially coming from out of state, is since we have all 4 seasons, you don't necessarily have all of your clothes in your closet at one time. I mean, a lot of the bulkier stuff, like for winter, put it in a coat closet and then switch it out. Now it's, you know, summer attire. So even if this wasn't necessarily big enough for you, you can make it work because you don't need all of your clothes accessible at all times, because you're not going to be wearing the same stuff come 4 months from now.
Yeah, that's a good point. Then from obviously closet into the bathroom. So you have the dual vanity here, good amount of space in between the tub, which is nice. You have the nice tiling accent in there. Yeah,
I like the big window too. I mean, if we had lights off, this window here would light up most of this bathroom.
Yeah, and I like that they frosted it for you. Some builders don't always frost that, and so you're getting out of the shower naked and saying hi to your neighbors, which we're friendly in Boise, but not that
you never
friendly.
know.
Right?
Maybe certain neighborhoods.
Yep. And then my favorite part of this master is this Brady approved for sure shower.
We haven't had one in a while.
I know, we haven't been touring houses as much.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, love instead of giving 2 shower heads, it is nice to have, you know, the one that you can wash your butt with, I guess. Then you have the 2 different systems there with the bench in there and plenty of storage for shampoo and things like that. But yeah, definitely a really nice shower. And for those of you who aren't local, having a glass shower door helps with the heat in the wintertime, because if you have a fully open shower, a lot of times you can be cold in your shower. And so it's nice to keep that heat when you have the shower on in one designated place.
Yeah, that's a good comment. We're seeing that more often with the zero entry or whatever they're calling it, and then it's just completely open, which is great because you can just walk in and out, one less thing to clean. But like you mentioned, if you don't have your bathroom heated more so maybe than the rest of the house in winter, you can walk out, or just when you're drying off, it feels pretty cold. So I like having the door there, but just something to think about if you aren't in a cold climate area.
No, little things like that. One thing I like this builder is, I mean, a lot of the upgrades, I mean, even the shiplap accent wall, you have the nice framing around the doors. I am curious to ask people, because I'm starting to notice a trend. Do you guys like the door out to the patio? I'm starting to find that most people never use it when you actually have it. It seems nice up front, but then nobody uses it.
I would agree. It's a nice addition. It's like, oh, you know, cool, we could just go out this way. But what are you gonna do from your bedroom to here? If you're gonna drink coffee, you're gonna have to go through your kitchen anyway. So unless it's like a separate patio,
and you have
it
a hot
seems like it's just
it
looks nice to have, but you might not actually use it.
You feel like you need a hot tub or a fireplace or something to make it worthwhile. And now we're right back to the kitchen. So kind of showing the flow of this house, and just a unique feel. This is a cool one, and at 2,800 square feet, there's more square footage upstairs, which
I mean, honestly is one of the highlights, I think. So we'll pop up there next, but really cool main level layout, almost 2,900 square feet. We'll drop the price once we get up to the bonus room, which is again a pretty unique bonus room, and one of our favorite parts of this home.
And then we'll pop over to the RV garage, of course, home, and then really dive into this area of Kuna, because even those of you who are local, you might not see what's about to happen in Kuna. You might not understand what's right around this location, because I know growing up here, Kuna just always has been the city you never go to. It's way out there in the boonies. But
the funny thing is, especially for all of you watching that are local, we mentioned, like I said, you might not know what's happening. Most real estate agents don't even keep up to some of the stuff we'll be sharing with you and what we've been researching to stay on top of really the entire market. So obviously we don't expect most of you to be quite in tune with all the different growth and things, because not even most real estate agents do. So
I wouldn't disagree with that. So let's go up to the bonus room and then head over to home number 2. Okay, now we're upstairs in the bonus room. First of all, I mean, you guys can see how big this bonus room is. It's a big bonus room for what we typically see. My personal favorite part about it, though, is with the modern design, you get these 3 big windows up here. It lets in a ton of natural light. It gives you, well, I get a view. I don't know if most people would get a view.
I can see a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
But just a nice, unique part of the house again.
Yeah, and it makes the front elevation of the home like look really cool. So
Yeah.
it has great curb appeal, and a lot of times those windows are just fake windows, but this actually, you know, is legitimate windows up here on 3 sides of this entire bonus room.
Yeah.
And it has a full bathroom too, which always is a nice touch if you have long-term guests or you know, kids that are going to be playing up here all day. You know, having a bathroom right there so they don't have to go up and down or trash the main level of the house. Yeah, this is a cool feature, additional piece.
Yeah, definitely plenty of room up here for entertainment. You know, pool table, TV, and then having a pull-out couch where if guests come and visit, they have their own bathroom, they have their own private space.
And this is, we've got this question a lot too, even just with the channel, but over the years, this is taking place of basements here. So we do not have almost any basements outside of older existing homes, like in the original parts of Boise. A few communities that are on hillsides are starting to do sunlight basements, but this essentially, these bonus rooms or second stories are replacing basements in this area. So for those of you that come from different areas where you're used to having a main level and a basement level where you know, do all your other stuff that you don't want in your main living areas, that's what these are for.
Yeah, 100%. And then going into more of the community of Patagonia. So out this window, you guys can see, I mean, there's a park in this section of Patagonia. There's a nice walking path, but then there's a whole section of Patagonia that is, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 years old that has 2 pools. There's 2 parks over there. It has really beautiful landscaping. And for a long time in Kuna, that was, and really still is, like one of the most desirable communities out here in Kuna. Part of that's the location, is we are really close to Meridian. So you're 5 minutes to the interstate or 6 minutes instead of 12 if you live on the far side of Kuna. Pinnacle, which you guys might have seen in the Somi district, is just right down the street. So lots of cool things about this community. A lot of people want to live in Patagonia. It's a very family-friendly environment. Have clients in there. Brady Gormley, who a lot of you guys might end up meeting, who's a lender that we work with. He lived in Patagonia, actually misses moving away from there. Really loved it in that neighborhood, enjoyed it there. He had kids, my clients have kids, very friendly, and just beautiful neighborhood. So
exactly. But we'll pop over to the home number 2, which obviously has the RV garage. And then again, try and remember what you saw here, because whoever the first 3 to comment their favorite of the 2 homes gets some of that coffee money.
Yeah, no cheating either. Yeah. Wait till you see home number 2.
All right, very loud out here, mid-construction around us as always. So we'll pop inside, but of course wanted to show RV garage, and that's the big highlight for this second home, especially for the price point for both of them, which we'll share because we forgot inside of the first home. But again, to have the RV garage, super important. I mean, I don't know, what would you say, half your clients recently are looking for that? Maybe,
I mean,
give or take?
At least have it on the list. Right? Like sometimes, you know,
nice to have.
Sometimes people will downgrade to a 3-car garage for price points because typically an RV garage adds a lot to the budget. Usually $50,000, $70,000, $80,000 for the same home you're adding if you have an RV garage. But that's where this community in this house with the price points are pretty hard to beat. So with the last house price point.
Yeah, exactly. So that first home, about almost 2,900 square feet, just your standard 2-car garage. So that's the big difference. Listed at $740,000. So again, in my opinion, a really good price, especially for where this is at in Kuna. Again, really close to Meridian. Honestly, in 3 years, if you're looking at a map, you're going to think this is in Meridian.
No, you're 100% right. And we'll talk more about some of the things coming to this location, but first the house. So again, elevated look, right? You get the taller ceilings, you get the nicer light fixtures, wider hallways, things like that. And then it's your typical house that we see over and over again.
It's a little bit different though.
A little bit.
Just because it's shifted a tiny bit forward.
Yes.
So the front room being in front of the entry door,
bedroom
the
number
main
1
door.
in here. You do get a very big bedroom. So that is one thing with this house in particular, is even though it's 3 bedrooms, it's a very big 3-bedroom house. With this being an oversized one, you get a really big closet. You do get the higher doorways in this house too. And then also just the window sill there, you know, a little reading book nook. I know kids always love having this to have and it just looks nice.
Yeah, exactly. It just breaks up the feel of everything being just a perfect square box, which again, coming into these higher price points, you get a little bit more of those extra touches. In this, for a guest bathroom, I actually really like this too, because it does have the separation. So adding in this little wall here so you can at least close this off, and really squeezing in dual vanities, which is awesome because you still do have some pretty good storage. These things are super important, especially for other people that have families or are moving with families. To have 2 sinks for the kiddos is huge. A little bit less fights.
Yes.
It still happens, but a little bit less.
Yes. Bedroom number 2, big again, really big bedroom, and you get a walk-in closet, which, is always nice to have in the secondary areas, especially for those of you who do have kids or secondary people living here full-time. It is nice to have the bigger closet and have that extra space versus just the pull-apart. So that's where, like, the first room, it doesn't have a walk-in closet. You can make that the guest bedroom. This bedroom would be more for a full-time person to have that extra closet space. And then, of course, going from these 2 bedrooms back to the front of the house, this hallway, I didn't realize how wide it is.
Yeah.
Very wide.
The other
hallway.
one was honestly probably a little narrow, and this one's oversized, so it feels even bigger.
Yeah, so give you guys a look at both options. But then in here's the living area. But one thing I wanted to note is, even though it's a 3-bedroom, you do get an office space. And we talk about it a lot, but these office spaces are nice because it's smaller, which is more usable for an office, and you don't have to take up an entire room.
Yeah, this is, for me personally, like, this would be perfect, where you have enough room for a desk, maybe even a chair, especially if you happen to have other people coming in, but you're not taking an entire 12 by 12 bedroom size out of the house for an office. Hopefully we all would rather be living our lives in our home than working constantly, even though it does happen.
Yeah, 100%. And then you get the half bath right here too, which love that they have it right off this office space, more closet space, and then back to the living area. So kind of the opposite of the last house, where your dining room and kitchen area is here. And I love when Riverwood does this. So Riverwood is the builder with this one. I personally love having the living space over here. It makes it feel more cozy.
Yeah.
You still get the open concept where everything is open, but you get a designated living space where you feel, with the fireplace and the couches in here, it just feels cozy. Yeah,
it's again one of those where it's all open, but it's not completely open like a warehouse. Like, you have kind of this corridor separating this living area. And then the other difference, when you have the living area directly in front of the kitchen countertop, if you're watching TV and someone's in the kitchen, they're like literally right behind you, and you're talking to each other, not even facing each other. Whereas if you're over here, you kind of have this angle, so you're not talking to the back of someone's head when you're cooking dinner and someone's watching TV.
Yeah, exactly. Nice kitchen too. Love, this is starting to become more and more of a thing, but having the full quartz or granite backsplash is becoming very popular, and it does look really nice.
I like it.
Having it, in sync, and it looks especially nice when you do get the under cabinet lighting like you have. Commercial grade oven and stovetop. You get the farmhouse sink, and you have your microwave here with another oven here. So you do get dual ovens with the microwave, and you get a really big walk-in pantry. But the difference between this house is you do get the quartz countertops with the outlets versus the other one, you didn't have the full quartz countertops. But always nice for putting your coffee machine or air fryer in the pantry away from things. Fridge would be right here. And then we can walk out to the backyard in this one too. We didn't do it in the last one, but this one's worth it because the covered patio has the big vault, which always just makes it feel nice.
Yeah, big double slider too. So some people, love or hate, but having this big open slider, especially right now where this home's situated, you can see it's completely shaded. It's going to be a 90+ degree day, but out here in the shade, like, you could actually be out here right now, having a drink or making phone calls, whatever you need to do. But you have a great amount of shade with the big covered area to actually use this space back here.
Yeah, and there will be a fence here, so you of course won't have that being right in your face. And you are connected to the walking path right here, which some people don't like, some people like, but just love having the easy access onto the walking paths, which part of why Patagonia is a nice community. Which brings us kind of to the Kuna thing before we walk into the master bedroom and the master bathroom. Kuna is often overlooked, or it has been for years. I mean, I remember growing up, I maybe went to Kuna one time in my life.
I don't know if I have either. Yeah. I mean, outside of the last 5 years, I'd say.
Exactly. Right. So some of the things coming. So right down the street is a Costco coming. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of new communities coming out here. A lot of the builders are moving their builds from Star and Meridian over to Kuna. A lot of growth is happening. I personally live in Kuna. There's a lot of things, and there's a lot more detail that we won't necessarily go into, but really big on Kuna as far as appreciation goes, investment goes, the amenities coming to it. I mean, Costco is literally going to be a mile down the road from Patagonia. So it'll be right down the street. You have Discovery Park and Pinnacle a mile down the road that way. And then everything in Kuna, for those of you who even are local and don't know what Kuna has, it does have a Ridley's, an Albertsons, a Bi-Mart, it has a D&B Supply, a Tractor Supply. It has tons of restaurants. There's a Thai restaurant, there's a barbecue restaurant, there's a Mexican restaurant, there is sushi. There's a ton of stuff there, and it has every fast food restaurant you can think of too. So
and that's what's here currently.
Yeah.
And obviously the things that are coming is just going to even increase that. And that's where you just said, you know, you hadn't really come out here, or it's sometimes it's an afterthought for a lot of people. Well, that's changing. And we'll go dive into detail a little bit more, but it's we're starting to see more and more people putting Kuna as a priority on their list when they come out here to either visit from out of state or here locally, saying, hey, we're ready for our next home. Let's go check out Kuna and see what it's all about, because we keep hearing and seeing people move there, and there's a reason for it.
Yeah. And I mean, builders are already starting to slowly increase prices, which is why the price point's like $740,000 for the home over there. That's almost 3,000 square feet. For that caliber of a build is very good for where we're at, especially being this close to Meridian. That's not going to be the case in a year and a half.
For sure.
Wanted you guys to have that information on the general location because it is valuable. But now we can head into the master. Continuing to keep in mind which one has been your favorite. Obviously, this house is going to be a little bit smaller on the square footage side, but obviously has the RV garage.
Curious, what would you put here?
Portrait of myself.
Okay, that's what I was picturing. I was like, just a hand, self-painted?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, with a dog or something. Yeah. No, exactly. Some people love this because it can make paintings look nice, but
I mean, I'd have to go out and buy something for this because I'm not an art collector, but I do like it. It is cool. I'm just curious, would people put, and maybe you guys can comment, would people put like a family picture here, or would it be art?
Yeah. I mean, personally, I'd probably, and Christians out there would get it, I'd probably put a picture of Jesus.
Yeah,
Mother Mary too.
That'd be a cool spot. Yep. Okay, what would you guys do? I'm curious.
You guys comment down below.
I want a creative idea. If anyone out there is like, ooh, I've got a fun one. What would go there?
Master bedroom, a little bit shorter ceilings, but still 9 foot.
Yeah, and a little smaller than the last home too. I would say a bit more basic than the first home that we toured, where it doesn't have the extra design touches, or it's not really set up in a way where you could have windows on the sides, but it doesn't have the extra windows to let natural light in. But a bigger main bathroom here, so that's where there's always pros and cons, and some compromises as you're comparing homes.
Yeah, and different setup. Some we've seen in other houses having the separate vanities is nice with the tub. You still get the big window, bringing that natural light in here, which is a big necessity for a lot, especially in Boise, to have a big window in the master bathroom. And then your walk-in shower. I haven't seen it yet, so we'll see. Very, very nice.
That means it's not Brady approved.
Not quite. Yes. Those of you who watch the video a lot, you guys know I do have pretty high standards, but if you're comparing this walk-in shower to the other one, really the determining factor is just having the one single shower head. The tiling's awesome. It does look really great in here, but just not gonna make the cut. Nope.
Not quite.
Brady denied. Walk-in closet over there.
Yeah, again, a little bit smaller. So this home is a little bit smaller than the first one. So that is, where some of the differences, the other differences come in. But Yeah, honestly, I would say they probably should have designed this a little bit bigger. This is a little small for the level of home, caliber of home. But again, there's, you know, you don't always get 100% of your want and needs, ideally as close as possible. So that might be a make or break for some people.
Yeah, 100%. And this house isn't listed yet, but based on what we know with the builder, roughly we're thinking it's probably going to be sub 800,000. If I had to guess, I'd probably say somewhere in the 750 to 775 range, somewhere in there.
Yep.
Obviously could vary once they actually list this house, but for a house like this size, with the RV garage, pretty well priced because yeah, I mean, anything around 750 or even 800,000 with an RV garage in a community like this is very hard to find. So especially with Kuna, which if you guys want to learn a lot more details, especially where we dive into all of the things coming to Kuna, why we're very, very bullish on the appreciation investment, watch this video here. Me and Jesse dive into detail about Costco. We dive into detail about all of the things coming to Kuna, all of the new housing developments, and give you guys a picture of what's happening and what people aren't necessarily talking about or seeing coming that's gonna hit soon. Thank you guys for watching.